Paternity fraud, the only fraud the society agrees that a woman can commit. There is a chance that you have come across videos like these, which are usually hard and sad to watch. Watch.
You are not. I can't believe that. Are not. I thought for sure. What are you thinking?
I don't know. Young ones actually thought they were.
I do too.
Welcome to the Health Show. Today we are going to talk about paternity fraud and how you can easily catch the culprit and know how it is being carried out. Now, paternity fraud is when a man is told that he is the biological father of a child by the child's mother, who knows that he isn't. Now, it occurs when a woman falsely identifies a man as the biological father of her child, knowingly. Now, the term paternity fraud has been on and off the media space, although there are several factors that have been the reason for the several trends the story has made in recent years. Yet, the most recent being a tweet about a DNA lab giving 75% discount to those willing to check the paternity of their children. Now, the tweet was made by a Nigerian medical doctor and social media influencer, Dr. Pekin, on his X handle, formerly known as Twitter. Now, the tweet was made on the 25th of September 2021. Now, these tweets, unfortunately, did not sit well with a lot of Nigerians as at the time, especially the women. The doctor, however, confirmed via another tweet that he was receiving death threats from some undisclosed women because of his previous initial tweets. Now, which went on to confirm just how serious of an issue paternity fraud is and was in the country as at that time. Now, the consequences of paternity fraud are very far-fetched. Men are forced to unknowingly cater for a child that isn't theirs for years. The lucky ones might find out, but at a later time, and others may never discover the truth. Now, you that is watching this video right now, I know you think your father is actually your father. I don't want to say that he isn't, but have you really asked your mother why you resemble your landlord? So, paternity fraud also leads to a lifetime of deceit and betrayal. In fact, a recent study states that 6 out of 10 paternity tests comes out negative for whosoever is testing it. Now, this is a whopping 60%. This goes to show just how many men and women weren't even biologically fathered by the men they believe to be their fathers. Sadly, Nigeria is ranked number 2 worldwide when it comes to paternity fraud, just behind Jamaica. Now, the fact that many of these cases are exposed is simply because of the rapid increase of Nigerians leaving the country. And one of the conditions for some of these countries is paternity tests. Now, a man was interviewed at a radio station at Oyo, Ibadan. Now, the 44-year-old Osun State Idike claimed that his wife, who he had married since 2007, brought another man's child for him to father. After sensing what he believed was promiscuous moves from his wife, he decided to secretly run a DNA test on his first son, 16 years old as at that time. The result came out negative, and this pushed him to run the test on all of his 3 children. The result showed that he wasn't the father of all children. What came as a shock was the fact that his wife disagreed with the result. However, she later came on to confess that all 4 children belonged to someone else. Now, another popular story is a former Chelsea player, Jeremy Njitap. He filed for a divorce from his wife after 12 years of marriage. Now, a DNA test revealed that he was not the father of their twins and that the children had come from his wife's infidelity with her ex. Now, the twins were born in 2008, 4 years prior to their marriage. Now, the marriage was because his wife misled him into believing that he was the father of the children. Now, there have been a trending pattern of women forcing children into the lives of the men that they know isn't the biological father of those children. So, some women have an affair out of infidelity and then plant the child on an innocent man who unknowingly takes the child and, of most cases, marry them. Now, there are people, especially women, out of fear that their can of worms will be exposed, who are taken to the social media handles to talk down against this, the only safe way for a man to confirm if a child is his. And you hear phrases like, "It has happened, let it be," or "Do you know even if your father was your father?" There are a few other wordplay they use to justify this disgusting act. So what should we do if you want to know the real reason why you resemble your landlord and not your dad? Now, this is where DNA test comes to play. Now, DNA testing has many uses. It is used across various fields. It is used for the police in a crime scene. However, it is also a safe way for detecting paternity fraud. Now, before we proceed, it is important to note that there are times that paternity tests can be incorrect. That is, there can be error in the actual test. However, the process itself, if followed truly with the standard SOP, is always accurate. Now, there could also be a chance of baby swapping and mutation in the womb before a child is born. There is also a chance of bribery, lab mix-up, and where the father of the child probably took up another child for the test just to avoid any responsibility. However, if a child doesn't have any expressive genetic resemblance from either parents, there's a possibility of the child resembling a grandparent, an uncle, or even a distant cousin. However, the child will still test positive for paternity test. Now, the case of a child looking like another man shouldn't be ignored, especially if the man has a suspicion. Now, how is the paternity test done? The test is carried out by collecting a cheek swab, cheek inside the mouth, from all parties involved, be it at home or in the test center. This can be done by a medical professional, or you may be asked to swab your cheek yourself. Now, this process is completely painless and takes only a few minutes. Now, if you are providing a blood sample, it will be taken by a medical professional with a needle from your vein in your arm, of course. Now, once the samples are collected, they are sent to the laboratory for analysis. Now, results may be a matter of days or weeks. Now, this depends on the factors that are considered. Now, if you perform a home test, then a result might be sent to your mail within days. Now, please note that asking for a DNA test from your partner does not mean that you don't trust or love each other, but at the same time, you should know who you get married to. Now, the wife you are marrying, can you trust her if your child carries the head of your landlord, or if your daughter has the same eyes of the man down the road? Now, if you can't trust that kind of woman, then why marry her? Now, if I am a woman, by the way, I will not take it lightly if any man asks me for a paternity test. Now, there are several instances, and this is true, where the paternity result is negative, yet the husband decides not to move for divorce. Now, arguably, the man opted to believe that other reasons might be the cause for the negative results. The cost of conducting a paternity test range from 50,000 naira to 150,000 naira. While a legal paternity test, that is a paternity test that is admissible in court, involves a more rigorous process, and that costs around 200,000 to 300,000 naira. However, there's a more affordable option for households. Now, this involves a DNA kit. Now, home tested DNA kits are available for purchase. You can just search Google, it's on Jumia even. Now, like I explained earlier, the home test kit can come with different swabs to collect enough samples, which will be mailed or sent back to the lab for testing. Now, the result of a paternity test shows how likely someone is to be the biological father of a child. So it's not usually absolute. Now, the results come in a probability of 0 and 99. 0 as in the subject is excluded as the biological father of the child. That means that there is a 0 chance of the man being the father of the child. When the result comes at 99, it means the subject is not excluded as the biological father of the child. And this means that the rest subject is extremely likely to be the genetic father of the child. In closing, I strongly believe that DNA test or paternity test should be mandatory in a country, not just because of cheating, but because of the increased cases of baby swapping and baby factory around the country. So we have come a long way. I hope you have learned all you need to know about paternity test, DNA testing, and how to interpret the results. Thank you for staying tuned with us. Remember to like, share, and comment on this video. Tell us any paternity test story that you have, and we'll send a reply. Bye bye.